All right, and we're rolling. What's going on? What's going on? This is Ugo Opara, PA licensed real estate agent and investor, reporting to you live. And in today's video, just wanted to go over some things that I go over with my coaching clients that might be beneficial to you watching this video as well. And in today's topic, we're going to talk about how to get good at estimating numbers for your rehabs. So, a couple of things that I want to before we dive into that, if you haven't already, make sure you like and hit. Make sure you smash the subscribe button. Blah. Smash the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. And then click the little bell thingy. Turn on notifications. All that good stuff. Helps promote the channel. Help keeps the channel afloat. And really appreciate that. So if you could do that for me, it'd be fantastic. And also, definitely feel free to visit the website that I have, which is ugotheagent.com. From there, you'll be able to book an appointment with me to ask any questions. You'll be able to sign up for courses that we're going to start doing, and also you can join the group. We have a group thing now where you join and you're able to see all the projects that I'm working on, weekly updates, group webinars, ask questions, things of that nature, and take it from there. So really excited about all of that stuff that we have coming. So feel free to take advantage. And again, you can just visit that one website, ugotheagent.com. It'll have all my contact information. It'll have links to everything that I'm talking about. And you'll be able to take it from there. And moving forward, that'll just be the only website. I think before I had different websites and things of that nature. It got real confusing. So now I've made it very easy. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into today's topic, which is, how do you get these numbers? How do you get these numbers? And the reason that this is an important thing to get out of the way is because there's going to come a point in time where you just aren't going to have enough time to go take a look at these properties, right? Nor should you, right? Nor should you, because what's going to happen is that you're going to have your numbers down to such a T that it's not going to always be relevant to go and take a look at these houses. So for me, what I do every week, for those of you that are in the group, every week I'll go through everything that's currently on the MLS and just kind of pinpoint what I think are where opportunities are. So this week of September 6th, there's about 70 potential things that I think are going to be out there, right? Of course, they all need massaging. I tell my coaching clients all the time, you have to create the deal. The deal isn't just going to be right there like, hey, buy me. You have to go in there and create the deal, negotiate, look for the zonings, things like that. Find out where you can, find an angle where you can attack something from. But am I going to look at all 70 houses? No. No, I'm not. It's just not possible. There's no way for me to make that happen. So what I'll do is I'll shoot offers in, and then when I think we're within ball range, then I'll go take a look at it. You know what I mean? A little bit of a trick that I do now is I schedule appointments for everything, anyways, and I see what I can't see. I'll see what I can see, but if I schedule 70 appointments, there's no way I'm gonna see all 70. But at least the listing agent will see, like, okay, cool, this guy scheduled an appointment. He probably saw the property. And I say that because sometimes when I'll put an offer on something sight unseen, the agent might be like, "Whoa, buddy, what are you doing? How are you buying this house without seeing it? Oh no. You're gonna back out of the transaction. You're gonna walk away. No. So now I just will schedule an appointment, and if I make it there, whoop de do, and if I don't, whoop de do. But at least in their system, I went to go see it. But anyways, so what's worked for me is that I know my numbers. So I know typically what it's going to cost for me to do a single family. If I'm doing all electric heat, single family. If I'm doing all electric and central air, single family. If I'm doing gas radiators, single family. If I'm doing gas and central air, and then all these same things, except I'm finishing the basement, and then all these same things finishing the basement, and if I'm waterproofing the basement, I know what what the bulk cost is going to be if I have to do a make safe, what the cost is going to be if I have to tear down the back wall, tear down the side wall, tear down the front wall, rebuild the roof, And these are just things that I did not know how to do, but I picked them up over time. So this video is not going to be like, boom, here's all the numbers. Be blessed, live your life, go buy these properties. There's no way, because you may be investing in a different market. You may also not have the same, probably don't have the same relationships that I have, where I can command, or where I'm blessed to get certain price points. So it's one of those things where, like, you're just gonna have to build into it anyways, and there's no way around that. You just got to kind of grind your way out. But I will talk about ways to definitely not make a lot of the same mistakes that I've made. So let's go back and talk about one of the things that really helped me, and I picked it up from a book. I can't remember what the name of that book, so forgive me, but it really boils down to the presentation. One of the things that has helped me out as I grew along is I just started to know my stuff, so I would ooze the information. I would ooze that confidence that I knew my stuff. But I didn't have to wait until I knew my stuff to ooze the confidence, right? I could have oozed confidence because I've already been prepared. So what I want to go over is some of the things that you could do regardless of your experience level, and just have it look and just come across as a very polished person. So let's get into this, because I I read a book and I'm just like, crap, I could have done this years ago. I mean, I should have done this years ago. So first things first, get this out the way. So first things first is, you want to do a cover letter. You want to create a cover letter for your company, right? You want to have a cover letter for your company, and that should outline just certain things like who you are, what your goals are, the type of projects that you do, your commitment to the community, um, you know, some of the causes that you stand for, you know, whatever, right? It should be like a 1 or 2 pager where I can pick up, I can read through it, and I could be like, you know what? Wow, that's impressive. This person is not brand new to the business. They've been there. Also, it's important to make sure that everything looks good. So, let's say you are, I don't know, Brickstone Constructions, right? It would make sense to buy the domain name brickstoneconstructions.com. Also get the email at, projects or info or service at brickstoneconstruction.com. Have a business phone number, have the virtual address for the office, like have everything looking good, have business cards. I don't really do business cards anymore. I do more like these little rack cards. Rack cards are cool for me because they're much bigger than a business card, so it's easier to put more information on them, and also they just don't get forgotten as much. You know what I mean? These are big things that you just can't just throw, put in your glove compartment and kind of forget about. They kind of draw a little more attention, and they make you stick out. So that has been effective for me. But so you want to have this whole persona taken out, taken care of. Hop on Fiverr.com, get a logo, get a color scheme, get everything going, so that if someone searches you up. Oh, by the way, make sure you have a Google storefront, right? Make sure you have a presence in Google. If I type you into Google Maps, it pops up. Like, just do the best you can to create this persona where if someone Googles you, they say, "Oh, okay, cool. There we go. Okay, cool. This person's here," right? You want to get all that done up front. You know what I mean? Because what happens is when you're working with these contractors, and they see that you have no clout, there's nothing about you anywhere. You're just brand spanking new. They will take advantage of you, unfortunately. But taking the time out to do all these things that I mentioned, it might take you 3 days, it might take you a week. It doesn't matter. Get all these things done, taken care of, and you'll be in really good shape. You'll be in really good shape from just a appearance perception wise, and that perception goes a really long way, you know what I mean, as you work to build your knowledge base and your experience and your confidence and things like that. But I cannot stress how important that stuff is. It's super important, and for me, when I was reading this book, I'm just like, God, I totally screwed all of this up. So don't be like me. Take the time to knock out all these things that I just mentioned. One of the things I will say, though, that in building a website, it'll make it very easy to also create the cover letter, because the cover letter literally could be word for word what's on the website. They don't have to be different. They could be the same thing. So make sure you do the cover letter, but then also do all the work that's necessary behind the scenes, so that after someone's looked at your cover letter, they can go online and have things that reinforce that. All right. So next up, whenever before you need to be at a property first and walk through that property and know what you want to get done to the property first before you start inviting contractors, right? So what do I mean by that? That means that when you walk into, like property like this one on the side right here, I don't know all of the happenings that are going to need to go into this property. But what I do know is I might, on a piece of paper or most likely my phone on a blank Google Doc sheet, I might do exterior, right? I might do exterior. I might say, make sure masonry stucco on the side is taken care of, you know, frame in front porch area, right? Frame it in front porch area. Make sure we have a light outside. Make sure we have an outlet. Make sure we have a hose bib outside. Take care of the brick pointing. Take care of the brick out here. Maybe we get a glass block window here. Take a look at the roof. Take a look at the chimney. Repaint here, and then maybe in the back, you want to clear all the rubbish. Give us a concrete backyard. Give us wooden fences. You would take the time to write these things out. Make sure add a railing to the steps. To be in compliance. Patch up any cracks on the steps. Redo the sidewalk if there's any issues. Make sure. Yeah, you would just kind of in your mind, as you're at the property, you want to create this list, and it doesn't have to be stellar. It doesn't have to be rocket sciences. It just has to be compartmentalized, right? In a way where if someone is there, they can follow what you're trying to do. So so going back to my example, I'll have that in the exterior. Then I'll go in, right? And then maybe I say living room. Maybe I say dining room. We want to do this in the dining room. Da, 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 da. Or maybe I'm in the living room and I say, hey, knock out walls, not knock out. Or maybe I'll just do interior. Maybe I just do first floor interior, right? This one I think we're going to make it an apartment building. So let's say I'm doing first floor interior, right? I might say frame wall from front door to stairs to create pathway for apartment upstairs. And then, we might take this window down to create a door for the first floor, right? So now first floor, it might be apartment one. I might say open, knock down wall separating living room from dining room to create open concept. I might say frame out a bathroom, a full bathroom. You know, um, we'll do living room and kitchen before the bathroom, and then we'll have the bedroom in the back, and the bedroom will have a walkout to the backyard. I might say we need metal door going out to the backyard, metal door going out to the front, metal door going into each apartment. You know what I mean? You start to break things down, and it doesn't even matter if you catch everything. It doesn't even matter if you catch everything. Just take your time and just write everything down that you can. And then once it's all written down, go back outside the house, and then as you walk in, read everything and see what you've missed, and make alterations, make adjustments. Get all your spellings taken care of, all your spell checks taken care of. Like, do all of this good stuff. Do all this good stuff up front. And the reason you want to do it up front is because what happens so frequently is that people do like this pointing method. They meet with a contractor and they're just pointing at stuff they want done, and the contractor is doing their best to kind of keep it all in their head. And they all, while fighting confirmation bias, because they also have an idea of what they would do to that place, right? So when you say, oh, I want to renovate the kitchen, and they hear you say, we're going to renovate the kitchen, they might be thinking about the last project that they renovated, and that's what they're going to do to your kitchen. The last project may have been for someone who lives in the house. So they probably got all super high end finishes. You're doing a rental or a flip, you're not looking for super high end finishes, right? Totally different price range, totally different scopes of work. But when you take the time to have everything written out and you print it out and you have a packet, you know what I mean? And you hand it to, or maybe you're not even there. Maybe you just put a lockbox and your contract, people coming in can just grab the packages they need. But they'll be able to read and see, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. This is what they want. Period. That way make sure that you and the contractor are on the same page. And another thing it does, when you start interviewing multiple people, you might forget what you told contractor A and say something slightly different to contractor B, and then also say something slightly different to contractor C. So now when your bids come in, contractor A's price is different, contractor B's price is different, contractor C's price is different because they've gotten different informations from you because you didn't have a proper checklist to go down of what you wanted. So it makes it really difficult to say, hey, well, Artie, to say that the bids are even equal. You have no idea what's going on. Contractor A is only bidding on the work that you remember to point out while you were with contractor A. Same thing with contractor B, and same thing with contractor C. And I know what people are thinking. Well, oh, if they're licensed and insured contractors, they should know. Da, 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 they should know what needs to be done. Da, 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 da. Wrong. No, no, no. Your team is only as strong as you are. I mean, it sucks to say that, but this is your business, your project, your everything. You're the face and brain. You know what I mean? You manage everything. Everything is your fault. At this, everything is your fault. So you can't make that assumption that, oh, this contractor is going to know everything that needs to get done. No, you need to do the best that you can to point them in the right direction. Do the best that you can, and if you get it up front, make sure you guys are on the same page, and then continuously monitor that, then you're in good shape. So this detailed scope of work makes it so that the bids are all on the same scope, on the same line items. They're all apples to apples. You don't have an apples to a pineapple. You don't have apples to a peach. You don't have apples to an apricot. They're all apples to apples. So now you can know, okay, cool. All right, now you can actually properly compare the bids that need to get done, you know? And then full disclaimer, I eventually what you want to get to is a situation where you don't go to one contractor to handle a project. You'll have it broken down where you have different crews to handle, you know, either one line item or a couple of line items, right? That is where you want to get to. But starting off working for GC is perfectly fine. Some people have 9 to 5s or busy schedules or kids or whatever, right? People got lives. The planet Earth is interesting. Humans are fascinating. People just have stuff going on that inhibits them from being a GC on a project and managing themselves. So I get that. But anyways, in conclusion, that scope of work is super, super powerful because number one, it forces you to be on track, forces you to get the fog out of your brain in regards to this project, forces you to walk through the property at least 2 or 3 times and make sure you flush out everything you're looking to get done, right? And then forces you to put it on paper, which you want to print out and give to people that are bidding on the work, and that way they have proper guidance. And also, when they submit their bid, they're only bidding on the stuff that has that you have in the packet. Now, if a contractor goes out and says, "Oh, well, there's other stuff I think that I didn't see that's in this list," right? Then you want to make sure that in your scope of work, you instruct like, "Hey, if you see anything that was missed that you think needs to be done to the property, please write in detail below." Right? And that way you're giving the contractors or the people coming to put a bid in on your project, they all have a way to say, oh, by the way, you missed this, and here's how much it is. You missed this. Here's how much that is. You missed it. You know what I mean? It's easy. You get that taken care of. What I love about the detailed scope of work is when I first started it, it was like, damn, this is a lot of work. This is taking me forever. But what happens is on a second property, it ain't too bad, and then on the third property, it's not too bad because you already have a template. So now you might start with the template and just delete the stuff that you don't need, right? Add in a couple of things here, a couple of things here, and boom, You have it. You're good to go. It's easy. A lot of this stuff takes so much effort just to get off the ground. But once it's off the ground, tweaks here, tweaks here, tweaks here, boom, you're flying. Right? So we've covered the cover letter and everything that encompasses in that, which is making sure you have a nice online presence and everything's in place, your Gmail, all that stuff, right? We talked about having a detailed scope of work. And now we're going to talk about also providing a sample contract for, a sample of the contract that you use for working with contractors. And that, my friend, is important. Even if you don't have an attorney look at it, even if it's just something you pull up from the internet, or even if it's something that you just write up, it's the principle that I would say is most important. Full disclaimer, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not giving anybody legal advice. Make sure you have an attorney. This is your business, not mine. You do what you want to do. But my focus is saying that it's the principle that counts. The fact that you even have a contractor. A contract for working with contractors, right? You know what I mean? And in that contractor, I have a couple of in that contract. Wow, let me work on that. In that contract, there are a couple of things that should be there on top of the relationship and what's to be expected. I also recommend you put a fees addendum in there. Fees addendum in there is going to say, you're saying that the roof and siding, that's a $7,000 job. You're starting on Tuesday of this upcoming week, and you're going to be done by no later than Saturday, right? Of this week. That's fine. Now, if Monday comes around or Tuesday comes around and you're still not done, boom, $500 or 300, whatever you feel comfortable saying. But that needs to be in there as long as other fees. So one of the things that I recently started doing is a cleanup fee. You know, let's say for example you do HVAC. Well, let's say you do framing. Let's say you do framing. I hire you to come do this framing job. You go and do the framing job, and then you're done. And now there's wood everywhere. There's wood everywhere. There is dust everywhere. There is nails everywhere, and then food and cans and plastic bottles that were not there when they first started, because But now that they're there and they've worked and the job is done, there's all this stuff all over the place. Oh my god, it infuriates me. Fear infuriates me. So what I did, just out of just pure annoyance, is boom, $500 cleaning fee. It comes right out of their invoice. And I tell them all the time, listen, if you want this money, you need to go and clean that place. So now when a framer is done, that place needs to look immaculate. Immaculate. It needs to be cleaned. Get the dust off. Get all this stuff out of here. And it's not putting up in the bag and putting it out front. It's not putting it in the bag and throw it in the bag. It needs to leave the premise. It needs to be off the premise. Off the premise. Take it away. Take it away with you because it wasn't here when you came. Take it away. That's, to me, that's so important, because what will happen is, plumber goes and leaves all their stuff in there. Electrician goes and leaves all their trash in there. Framer goes and leaves all the HVAC goes. Now I have another demo fee. I have a clean out fee. I call my demo guy like, hey, can you come through and run a run a sweep? I call it a sweep. Yeah, we need a sweep. I need you to go sweep through X, Y, and Z property. No bad. And then they charge me $300, 350, 400, 5, whatever the case may be. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is not cool. I'm not the one creating this mess, yet we have to keep paying for it. I paid for the material. You know what I mean? It starts to add up, and these are the type of things where you want to nip it in the bud up front. Nip it in the bud up front. So you should definitely have a cleanup fee. Golden rule. You want keep the place as you saw it. So when you came in, if it wasn't junky, keep that same energy. Keep that same exact energy. So now I have a fee sheet in there. Um, Also about like permits and things like that. I have it at the bottom, so I'll get to it later. But those are the type of things that you want to add to your fees addendum, right? Next is the payment schedule, right? What you don't want to do is pay somebody half of the money. No, 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 no. That's what you don't want to do. So make it clear up front. Don't wait to have an awkward conversation about it. Put it clear up front. You can say, you know what, we pay 30% up front, 30% when it's done, and then the remaining 30% once it passes inspections. We typically get that money within 45 within with no more than 5 business days. Boom, that's it. That's your payment schedule. Everyone reads it, they understand it, boom. And what you could do, and what I really enjoy doing now, because it saves me on writing checks, you can say, hey, we pay. You can even explain how you pay. I recommend you explain how you pay. You can even say, hey, listen, we pay through ACH payments. It's free for you. It's free for me. It takes about 3 to 5 business days to get to your account. So we need a blank check and an authorization form so that we could put you in our system. And once an inspection is passed, we'll send it to you. We'll just send that payment. You'll be notified that it was initiated, and then you'll be notified when it hits your account. That's it. That's it. Payment schedule. And so many people just won't even do the job. Like, oh, what? No, I only work off a half. I need 50% up front. No, you don't. Stop the cap. You don't need 50% off. You know what I mean? Stop it. Some things you can be a little bit more lenient with, but majority of the things not necessary. All right. And then always pull permits. I would have an addendum in there that says, "Hey, listen, unless noticed, unless you were told otherwise, pull the permits." And permits have to be emailed. I don't want pictures of it sent to my phone. No, email a PDF of the permit to the email, and wait until you get a reply confirming its receipt. If not, then you're just not going to get paid. You know what I mean? And then all permits have to pass inspections. Anything that doesn't pass is up to the attorney to get it where it needs to be. So that's that, and there's so many things that we could talk about more, but I want to kind of keep it brief and short. Next line item is make sure you have a list of the required items that the contractor, whoever he or she is going to need before they can start work with you. So what do I mean by that? Let me explain, because it sounds a little bit weird. I like to get people's driver's license or passport or whatever they have. You know what I mean? I like to get, if they have a car, I like to get their license plate, year, make, and model of the car. Um, I like to get, the authorization fee, authorization form with a blank check. I mean, voided check, so we can put that in the system. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, proof of insurance. Copy of their contract, copy of their OSHA card. Um, just stuff, man. Just stuff, so that there's no issues next time. You know what I mean? And then the last thing I would say is just get multiple quotes. So many people struggle with this. It becomes a hassle, it becomes a chore. I'll tell people, just have fun with it. Just have fun with it, man. Have these people come out, talk to them, da da da. Start asking them, hey, do you know a framer? You know what I mean? Like, it's a fantastic way to network. You got people that are going to be in your property for hours, right? And it's a great way to just kill multiple birds with one stone, because real estate is one of those things where, like, it's all about who you know. It's very much so about who you know. So start talking to as many people in the trades as you can. Good workers tend to know other good workers. So yeah. But yeah, so that's the list of required items, and I'm sure that you could probably think of some that I've missed out, or whatever the case may be, but it just helps. It just helps. So let's just take a step back and kind of picture what the packet is like, right? So typically when I buy a property, swap the lockbox, swap the locks, put the lockbox on there. I will walk through that property by my lonesome, get as much of a detailed scope of work as I possibly can. I'll take a bunch of pictures, and then I might do a video. I might do a video of myself walking through the house, just talking about, um, just talking about the project and things that I'm gonna get done, and everything, so that it continuously keeps the fog away, right? And I get to keep streamlining the detailed scope of work, so that when I hand it off to a contractor, everything everything is copacetic. We're on the same page, of course, with a little give and take. Of course, with a little give and take, but it allows for us to start off on the same page and kind of build towards some very solid form of understanding. So lockbox is there, access to the property is there. I'm in there. I'll take a whole bunch of pictures, pictures of the outside, a whole bunch of pictures of the inside, the back, the side, whatever the case may be. As many pictures as I possibly can. I count the windows because, of course, you're gonna have to replace those. And I just do the best I can to put that property um, in place while I'm there to reduce how many times I visit the property, right? So, so once the detailed scope of work is done, I'll I'll make sure it's in a way where I can print it out. Also, want to have the cover letter. So now I have the cover letter, right? Then I'll have the detailed scope of work, and then from there I'll have the contracts for the contractor, right? So it's just this nice little packet. It's this nice little packet. Um, and it's just a wow effect because I'll tell you what, bunch of people, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and dozens, a bunch of people out there are just not even attempting to do all the stuff that we're doing. They typically will just call a contractor. Contractor comes over, and you're like, yeah, I want to redo the kitchen, and I want this here and that here, and then yeah, they going up the steps, I want this type of rail and all this other stuff. And it's it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Get everything nice and clean up front. Take it from there. All right. So that's pretty much it for me. And what happens is over time, as you keep working in the space, you'll start to see, okay, cool. On my last project, the electrician came through for 8, so I'm just gonna budget 8 for the electric on this one because they seem, you know, right where they need to be at, and then just kind of taking it from there. So yeah. Any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be in touch. Other than that, peace out.